morning, folks. It's Wesley Lowry here with the Black Star Network here in Raleigh, North Carolina, sitting outside the State House where we have marched. We have been here in North Carolina on the ground for this is now the fourth day following the repairers of the breach, led by Reverend Barber, as they march from Wilson to Raleigh on what they are calling the This Is Our Selma March. Now, there's a number of reasons for these actions. As you all know, viewers of the Black Star Network know, North Carolina has been one of the key battlegrounds in the fight over how we district in Congress. President Trump demanded Republican state legislatures and Republican state houses to attempt to redraw the congressional maps as a means of diluting black power, Democratic power, power of poor people, and what we have now seen are efforts of resistance and pushback. And so this march, which began in eastern North Carolina in Wilson, marched through North Carolina's 1st Congressional District. Now, that district, currently represented by Don Davis, longtime member of the CBC, was one of the districts here in North Carolina where we saw the legislature redraw the map to try to make it easier for Republicans to pick up a seat and for Donald Trump to control over the Republican House. But we're seeing leaders like William Barber, other members of clergy, civil rights leaders, campus groups stand up and say, no, not on our watch. We're not going to be doing that. And so we have marched since Wednesday with hundreds of people across the state, through rural areas, now into the state capitol, as a means of rallying support in what is the first week of early voting in North Carolina, in what will be a key state during a key midterm election to decide who controls Congress. Will there be a response to Donald Trump's first 2 years back in office? And what type of country do we want to be? As we've talked to folks, we've heard a number of reasons. We've heard about attacks on health care and social services. We've heard about the attacks on voting rights. These efforts to reduce representation among black people being a direct attack on the enfranchisement and the voting rights that people have worked on forever. Now we got, as you guys are going to hear, we're going to have mic checks going on behind us. We're going to have marchers coming up in front of us. And we are soon, in a few minutes, going to see hundreds of people coming up behind me into the stage in front of me, and there's going to be a big rally heading on up. And so, not sure how much of that you all can hear, but we're getting ready to get our logistics going. We've been here on the ground for a few days, and we are getting ready to watch this rally here at the State House in North Carolina. This is our Selma, forward together, forward, love forward march. Of people, done interviews with Reverend Barber, other members of clergy, as well as a number of the marchers, to ask them why they're coming out and what they want to see happen. Now, one of the key things that we've been told over and over and over again is that this is not a rally that is about despair. This is not a rally that is about resistance, but rather this is a celebration and is a fight for vision moving forward. Reverend Barber, when we talked to him on the first day of the march as well as on the last day of the march yesterday, he made sure to stress that what he wants to hear from clergy around the country, here in North Carolina, but as well as political figures across the country, he wants to hear a clear vision, not just the resistance they want to have to the Trump administration, but he also wants to hear what we are standing for, what we are fighting for. You know, as everyone knows, especially viewers of Black Star Network, Reverend Barber comes out of a black faith tradition that stretches back to the Howard Thurmans and Martin Luther King Jr.'s, to Jesse Jackson, one that speaks about a vision for multiracial, multicultural democracy, one that advocates for the least of these, the poor, the disenfranchised, the blacks and Latinos. And so what we've seen throughout this march is a multiracial set of people white, black, Hispanic, folks who have come not just from here in North Carolina, but from around the country, people who've flown in from Utah and from California. We had one of the monks, someone who had been up in the nation's capital, who said he felt so moved by what he heard was going on here that he had to come down and join the rally and join the march. And so we have been talking to people. We have been marching with folks. It has been rain. It has been shine. It has been cold. It has been nice. The sun has come out by the end of the day, and so we're imagining that the clouds are going to part by the time this rally gets going, and we're going to have some sunlight here. But again, this rally has been pegged here in North Carolina to the first week of early voting, early registration in what is going to be an important primary race in North Carolina, leading into an important midterm general election where this state is going to decide, will Donald Trump and Republicans, will they be rewarded for their gerrymandering and redistricting that they did earlier this year, or will voters show up, black, brown, disenfranchised, poor, and say, no, not in our name? As Reverend Barber has noted, there were assumptions that went into how they redrew these maps. There were assumptions about how many people would show up and how many people would vote. And that if more black, brown, and poor voters who've stayed home in previous elections show up, it can foil those plans of the Republican legislature as well as President Donald Trump. And so the aim and the push here, from what we've heard from the marchers, what we've heard from the organizers, is that they want to see a mass movement of folks insisting that in this moment their voices won't be silenced, their votes will not be watered down, and that they're going to demand for a country and leadership in a country that aligns with their values. You know, this is a difficult moment. As we know, we've watched things play out across the country in recent weeks and recent months, whether it be the ICE actions and the Border Patrol actions, whether it be the behavior of federal agents and the federal agencies, whether it be the handling of the Epstein files. We have seen an administration that was never popular become increasingly unpopular as it's carried out its agenda. And so what we imagine we are going to see across the country in months to come are moments and movements like this one here in North Carolina, of people stepping up and responding to what they're seeing and attempting to lay out a proactive vision of what they want to see from their government. And so as you guys can see over my shoulder, we now have a few hundred people making their way up Fayetteville Street in North Carolina, right in the heart of downtown Raleigh. They're making their way to the State House, toward us. We've got Reverend Barber at the stage in front of me, and they're starting to move their way here, where we're going to hear from faith leaders, where we're going to hear from political leaders, and we are going to hear from affected people talking about what the Trump administration's behavior and what its actions have been and how it has impacted real people here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we've got a choir about 10 feet in front of me singing "This Is Our Selma." And so as you can see, the marchers are now directly behind us, a few feet from the stage, about to take the lawn at the State House, filling in the space for what we are expecting to be a massive rally of hundreds, if not thousands of people who, again, they began their march in Wilson, North Carolina, which is in the eastern part of the state. Poor, impoverished. This is not the Research Triangle. This is not Charlotte, where my family's from. These are areas of people who often do not get a lot of political rally and a lot of attention. And they started the march there because that is the district that the Trump administration has attempted to disenfranchise through their actions and their redistribution of the congressional seats. And so we've walked from Wilson 50 miles here to the State House, and so now to my left, people are filing in immediately to my left. The view you're looking at right now is directly next to us, filing their way from the street up to the State House steps, surrounding Reverend Barber, where we're expecting a rally to go on for several hours, demanding a positive vision in response to what has been a fascist, autocratic administration. As you can hear, they're singing and they have declared, "This is our Selma." And we're seeing a remarkable multiracial, multi-ethnic, young, old, clergy, singing, dancing, and clapping. So as you guys can see, that crowd is still making its way, winding its way up Fayetteville Street through the heart of Raleigh towards the State House here in North Carolina. They're carrying signs that say "Forward Together." They say "Love is moral resistance." They say "We love voting rights for all." They are demanding oversight of ICE and of Border Patrol. They are pushing back on the Trump administration's attempts to gerrymander and to disenfranchise, to dilute the black vote, the brown vote, and the poor vote. And like I said, what you are seeing is the scene right over my shoulder on one screen and right in front of me on the other. You know, as we all say when we talk about funerals, right, we do a celebration of life. This is not a resistance rally, as Reverend Barber has said. This is a joyful celebration, and this is a push for a positive vision looking forward.
They used to say, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. But that ain't the kind of rally we have. This is a love for we do care. We're not the uncaring crowd. We're the caring crowd. We're the crowd that's gonna turn this thing around. We're the crowd that knows that love is greater than hate. So on the count of three, would you wave your banners in the where on the count of three like you really do care? 1, 2, somebody say 3. Wave your banners in the air just like you care. Forward, 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 forward. Somebody look at the sun and just shout. Love done brought the warmth out. So people are still coming. Look back there. God almighty. All the way down Fayetteville Street. You don't have to bunch up on Morgan. We got Robotrons and microphones and all the way down Fayetteville. So we want people to still come. Now the first thing we want to do is all the people that are 70 years and older, raise your hands. Can we honor all of our elders? Can we honor our elders? Come on, let's honor our elders. They've been through this before. All of the folk that are 18 years and younger, would you raise your hand? Can we honor the young folk? Now, would you point your hand to the sky and honor the ancestors with silence? From the east. To the north, to the south. We honor our ancestors who died, our fathers and others. Thank you for fighting before we had our chance. We will not let you down. Amen. Amen. We want to remember, look at people to tell them this is nonviolence. If you want to cut up, go somewhere else. This is nonviolence. Now, we want to remember folk that have been shot. Is that right? Choir, and they have a powerful song they want to do before we start the rest of the program. They may have 2 more, but this one, remembering Alex, Sister Good, and all of the folk that have died that we don't even know about in ICE because we will not let them just be thrown away like garbage. For every one of them that dies, 10,000 of us will stand. Tell your neighbor that for every one that dies needlessly, whether it's dying from the lack of health care, dying from lack of hospitals, dying because they were shot and lynched in the street by ICE agents, dying because they don't have basic necessity of water, dying, whatever, however they die, they will not die unremembered. We will carry the fight, am I right? For every one that dies, their death will be like a soil and seed of resurrection, and 10,000 of us will rise. What a choir, what a choir. Well, actually, we call it theomusicology. And we thank Brother Bill and Yara Allen and the Street Genie, Freddie, and all the musicians and all of these singers who come from all over. From all over. I want you to know today we've got somebody who said they had to bring a bus from Selma to connect the spirit of Selma, Alabama with today. I'm going to come back later, but it's important to clarify in this moment. We want to hold up those who love their country and their community, that have led them to march all the way from Wilson to Raleigh to be here this morning. 51 miles. And we're grateful for those who drove all the way from Mitchell County in the west, and Asheville, and Dare County, and Washington County, all across the coast, from Charlotte, the Piedmont, the Black Belt counties down east. We celebrate all those who come from Granville and Warren and Vance County, what we call the historic well springs of rebellion against authoritarian and white supremacy and tyranny. We welcome all those who come from the Triangle, because today we are one people. But no matter how far we have traveled today, we've all come here through great tribulations. Our minds are troubled, our hearts are troubled. In many ways, we're heartbroken. Heartbroken in this nation, we continue to try to love and love and love, and we find ourselves saying what Langston Hughes once said: America has never been America to me, but I swear this oath that America will be. We come here with some anger and grief, not madness, but anger at the murderous assaults on the American democracy, the assaults on human decency that we've been witnessing with our own eyes, and we will not let anybody tell us that we're not seeing what we're seeing. More than anything, with all of that in our minds and our hearts, we've come here today in a spirit of love. And we've assembled in our yearning to come home, to wake up to a new country. We're not fighting for normalcy. We're not fighting to go backwards. We're fighting to go forward to the America that never was, but yet must be. And the living ingredients of our own history have taught us that the things do not have to be the way they are. Indeed, things cannot stay the way they are. As we gather here today, let us be reminded that in the 3rd century, when an emperor named Claudius, an authoritarian named Claudius, was hungry for power, wanted to put his name on every building. Talking about Claudius, who wanted to use his military to run rampant around the world, Claudius. And he wanted to use young men to wage wars when he himself wouldn't even fight. Claudius, who wanted to expand territory. He put out a decree against marriage for young men so that he could send them to war. And he thought that he could control love. Claudius reasoned that if he could maximize the potential of his people for war, if he could minimize love. But Claudius' plans were frustrated by a priest in Rome named Valentine, a bishop of the church who believed that love was more powerful than an empire's army. Yes, Claudius could marshal the resources of the Roman purse and the force of the Roman legions to impose his will on the world, but he found out that he couldn't stop love. Men and women defied him and kept falling in love. Claudius couldn't stop Bishop St. Valentine. He married people in secret and they came out in public. And in an act of civil disobedience, Valentine refused to cooperate with the emperor's unjust decree. Because not only can people in the military defy unjust decree, we the people can defy unjust decree. And he signed the certificates of their marriage. And on February the 14th, 269, St. Valentine was beheaded in Rome. Claudius used his power, used his wealth to kill him, but he still didn't have the power to stop love. 18 centuries later, we don't remember Claudius. There's no day named Claudius Day. No one recalls the name of the henchman who cut off St. Valentine's head. But every February 14th, we remember St. Valentine in the public square. This day, we celebrate also the power of love, is the day that Frederick Douglass chose as his birthday. He didn't know when his real birthday was because he was born in slavery. But he said, if I'm going to choose a birthday, I'm going to choose it, my brothers, on Love Day. And Douglass knew that the cold cruelty of American totalitarianism, he knew what it meant to be treated as property. He knew what it meant to be separated from his mother as a boy. He knew what it meant to be assaulted. But when things got bad, Frederick Douglass said this to the nation. He said, even though these things are happening, the time is now for us to intensify and embolden our agitation. He knew that people who claimed to own him didn't have the power to quench his mother's love. And so most of his life, he carried the memory of a sweet cake that his mother gave to him the last time he saw it. She made it in the shape of a heart. And he wrote with a rich, dark ring glazed upon the edge of it. She called Frederick her little Valentine. And that love kept him alive. That love gave him a heart for a country that dared to enslave him. My brothers and sisters, here we are today. And we live in a moment when the ruling authorities claim that might makes right. They claim that the Constitution doesn't constrain them. They're ignoring the separation of powers and defy the lawful orders of the courts and of the Congress. They've abdicated their moral responsibility to care for the poor by spreading lies about waste and fraud and abuse. They claim to do all these things. They call a bill a mega bill, a beautiful bill, when it is really a big, bad, deadly, ugly bill.
Yes. There you go.
They loose their forces to shoot people down in the street. But we've come here today to say that the love in our heart will not let us bow anymore.
Yes.
We cannot bow to their vision of power, and we will not. We are here to love forward together, and coming after me are people that are going to talk about why we love and what we must love and how we must love. Yes, their troops are in the street. Yes, their masked men are knocking on our doors. Yes, they are now talking more about nuclear power. But we are here to remind them that love has proven down through the history to be stronger than all of this. Yes. And so, my brothers and sisters, here we are today. Here we are today, and today, since Wednesday, we've been marching. We started in Wilson, in the old district, Toby Fitch, that they've gerrymandered to steal and rob a seat. We started the day before the day early voting began, and we're here today to declare that when we leave here, we're going back to our communities across this state, and we're going to take love and organize everybody we know. And we're going to say to them, it's time to voice your love and vote your love and stand in the vitality of your love, because we need love to be victorious one more time. And so if you love seeing people out of poverty, it's time for us to love forward together. If you love seeing people make a living wage, it's time for us to love forward together. If you love to see the establishment of justice rather than the establishment of injustice, it's time to love forward together. If you're tired of seeing 87 million people either underinsured or underinsured, and you want everybody to have health care, it's time to love forward together. If you would rather see a nation put more money in public education, training our children's minds, than putting money in bombs to kill our people's future, it's time to love together. If you want to see a nation that recognizes that power is not supposed to be used to hurt and to beat people, but power is supposed to be used to lift and help people, it's time to love together. If you would love to be in a nation that cares about everybody, that believes that empathy is a virtue that we all should have, that looking down on people should only happen when you're looking down to pick them up, it's time to love together. On every street corner, on every step, down every tobacco road, through every cornfield, through every corner, through every road, it's time to love together. And let them tell us not what we can do. For we come from people like Harriet Tubman. She didn't have Snapchat. She didn't have email. She didn't have a cell phone. She didn't have social media, but she had love in her heart. She had a made-up mind. She had a strong constitution, and she got 700 people out of slavery, even though she had epilepsy. Don't tell us what we can't do. Our ancestors took on this nation before. It's just our time to take it on today. And while we're taking it on, I want to suggest, with just a little bit of preaching, that we ought to sing while we're doing it. And we ought to sing that song that never fails. We shall overcome. It was a song that came from the enslaved people's spirituals. It was a song that was sung in the labor movement. It's a song that was sung when Joan Baez sung it at the March on Washington. It was the song they taught at the Highlander Folk School up in Tennessee. It became the anthem of the civil rights movement. And the words teach us how we have to love. It says we, not I, but we. Look at your neighbor and say we. Black and white, we. Brown and indigenous, we. Asian and young and old, we. Gay and straight and trans, we. Baptist and Methodist and Christian and Jewish and Muslim and people who may not be of faith, but they believe in the moral arc of the universe. We shall. And it says shall, not maybe. In fact, you never change that word, we might overcome. No, it's we shall overcome. Why shall? Why shall? Why is it definite? Because in the Bible, in the Greek word, the overcome comes from the word nikos, which is that's like the word Nike, but it means to be victorious. Whenever you use the word overcome, it is a recognition that you will not overcome in your own strength. You will not overcome in your own power. You will not overcome in your own might. But if you do the Lord's work, you shall overcome. Oh, can I holler just a second? I don't care what they say. The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I don't care what they say. Who shall be against us if the Lord is for us? I don't care what they say. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and not faint. Do I have a witness here? I don't care what they take from us. God shall supply every need that we have. The Lord is my shepherd. We shall not want. So I'm going to let the other folk talk now. but we shall vote like never before. We shall stand like never before. We shall overcome. We shall make it through this mess. We shall see a new day. We shall love forward. We shall overcome. We shall organize. We shall tell the truth. We shall see a new America. Do I have a witness? Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
on now. Love forward together. Love forward together. All right. I want us to begin with our North Carolina preamble, and then we will have our litany, and then we will have our setting.
We, the people of the state of North Carolina, grateful to Almighty God, the sovereign ruler of nations, for the preservation of the American Union and the existence of our civil, political, and religious liberties, and acknowledging our dependence upon Him for the continuance of those blessings to us and our prosperity, due for the more certain security thereof, and for the better government of this state, ordain and establish this Constitution.
Come on, everybody. Love forward together. Not one step back. Love forward together. Not one step back. I am Bishop Sonia E. Williams, representing the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries under the visionary leadership of Bishop Yvette A. Flunder. And we stand here today because we believe in the power of love. We are loving forward in Raleigh to declare that democracy is not a museum piece. It's a living practice, and it must be protected by the people, not shrink wrap for the powerful, but gift wrap for the poor. It is love that rejects systems that draw crooked lines to silence the marginalized. And we are here because love is not dominance. It is dignity. It is not about control, but it is about conscience, not about building walls, but building bridges in God's image. Love forward together, not one step back. T-Fam believes that mercy is stronger than meanness, that grace is greater than greed, and people matter more than profit margins. And so we challenge the empire today. We challenge the establishment today. If your theology puts people in cages, it's not holy. If your economy needs poverty to uplift the wealthy, then it's not healthy. If your politics needs lies, it's not leadership. We are loving forward to a future that refuses to be small. Come on, love forward. Not one step back. This is our Selma moment. Not because history is repeating itself, but because courage is rising. And so we come to let it be known we will not be erased. We will not be divided. We will not be distracted. We will not be denied. We march with love in our mouths and truth in our feet. Because when we march with love, then history has no choice but to change. Say it one more time with me. Love forward together. Not one step back. We shall overcome. God bless you.
We gather today as neighbors and people of conscience. Religious, spiritual, secular, and searching. Some of us pray in sanctuaries. Some of us meditate in silence. Some of us organize in community rooms. And some of us carry questions we cannot name. Some of us have been held by faith and others harmed by it. Still, we are here together because suffering is real and responsibility is shared. We are here to practice a commitment that is bigger than anyone and wider than anyone's ideology. Love forward together. Not sentimental love, not convenient love, love with a backbone, love that shows up, tells the truth, and refuses to abandon people when the headlines change.
And we name what is happening in our communities without denial. People are working hard. What are they doing? Working hard. And they're still falling behind. Families are choosing between rent and medicine, between food and utilities, between rest and another shift. Elders carry too much on too little. And children absorb, listen to this, children absorb stress they did not create. We name housing insecurity and displacement. We name healthcare that feels out of reach. We name the loneliness that grows when survival becomes a full-time job. We name the violence we can see and the violence of neglect that hides in plain sight. And we see clearly these burdens are not private failures. They are public issues. So we choose to respond publicly with solidarity and organization and courage and the guided commitment of love forward together.
Amen. Amen, amen. I want you to grab your person beside, let them know you got them. There's some persons that said they need to seat. If you're disabled and you need to sit down, you can come right back through here. They'll let you back. There's some seats in the back. The litanies need to be 2 sentences. 2 sentences, 1 minute, 2 sentences. Everybody that's coming now is coming, and each person is doing 2 minutes going right to their issue, right? Because before we finish this, in about 45 minutes, I have to come back and give us our marching orders, because if you do a rally with no marching orders, you might not have done it, right? So I want everybody to hear that. Now, they say, well, Reverend Barber, you talk longer than 2 minutes. That's because my job, as I was asked to do, was to set the reason why we were here, okay? Everybody doesn't do that. It's not ego. It's just setting it here. But we are about a rally to make sure that we have an agenda when we live here. So whatever you have in front of you, take your best 2 sentences of that litany. We want to get our other, particularly our impacted speakers. So I want to shift a little bit. We make sure we get some impacted folk up here right after this crowd. Am I right? I'm talking about folk that labor, health care, that kind of thing. Let them have the mic. And any preacher that doesn't want them to have the mic, well, we'll pray for you. All right? So 2 sentences. Clarity, thank you. Look at that, helping people. Look at that, helping this. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. The rally, somebody gave up their seat so somebody else could sit down. Put a hand together. Put your hands together. Now, can you all hang tight with us for 45 minutes so we can get our marching orders after that? All right, all right. Let's move.
We affirm the full humanity of every person. No exception, no footnote. We affirm people across race and ethnicity, across languages, across gender, across sexuality, across ability and age, across citizenship and documentation. We love forward. And it means we will not fear, we will not let fear decide who belongs.
We commit to an ethic deeper than party lines and louder than talking points. Truth matters, dignity matters, and the public good matters. We commit to justice that can be measured, safe and stable housing, accessible, affordable health care, living wages, and fair labor protections. Love forward together.
We begin when the nation begins without party, without personality, without permission. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, not a perfect union, but a more perfect one, That is constitutional language for we are still under construction. And if we are still under construction, then we are still responsible. A union is not just geography, it is a moral agreement. And when the agreement is broken, repair is not betrayal, repair is patriotic. The preamble does not start with we the government. It does not start with we the wealthy. It does not start with we the landowners. It starts with we the people. That means the legitimacy of this democracy is not owned by a few. It is delegated from the people through participation, through our voices, through the ballot, through the public witness, and through moral courage. So when anybody tries to shrink who counts as the people, then policies and practices must make more expensive, then making voting harder, slower, more suspicious, more expensive. This is not a minor procedural disagreement. It is a direct assault on the Constitution's opening purpose. It says establish justice. Justice is not a mood, it's not a slogan, it's not selective sympathy. Justice is a constitutional aim. Not revenge, but justice. Not favoritism, but justice. Not I got mine, but justice. So let's love forward together, not one step back.
Put your hands together. Now we have coming now, there are 4 MCs that are working together. The Reverend Dr. Hannah Broom, let's give it up. Dr. Willem, where's Willem? Where's he? He's on. Dr. Nancy Petty and Reverend Dr. Della Owens Barber. They are our 4, if you will, MCs, and they have a special, what we call tying it all up. Y'all know tying it up? In other words, other people come, and then as clergy, they tie it up. That's what Hannah just did. She was tying it up. And we're live streaming all over the world right now. Everybody, pick up your banner so everybody can see it. Y'all turn, live stream, send this around. Yes, all over, all over. So they will come. They have a little bit extra, those 4 MCs, because they're tying it up. They're putting a bow on it. Because we're teaching now. You never have a mass rally just to have it. You have it to teach. Mass rally is about mass public education. Am I right? 06, brother. I'm right. Amen. Amen. Come on into the rest of it.
Thank you, Bishop. I want to introduce next from Second Chance Alliances. They're going to be sharing with us today why we love voting rights and the ballot, particularly for formerly incarcerated persons. Standing with him is Greg Singleton and Sangria Noble. Will you please welcome them?
My name is Greg Singleton, former federal inmate number 13928-056. This inmate number will mark me as a forever felon in the United States of America. This inmate number means I will never start at the same starting line as those who are not justice involved. This inmate number would identify me as a risk factor when it comes to my character, obtaining employment, renting an apartment, or being a soft target when blame is needed. This inmate number may alarm the police when my identification is run, causing them to handle me differently, even for a minor infraction, like not signaling before turning. This inmate number took away my right to vote, a right that many people of my race and other races died for. These are the words I spoke that echoed from my mouth during the opening remarks at the governor's mansion on January the 29th, 2024, when Governor Roy Cooper signed the Reentry Council Executive Order number 303, an executive order to establish a unified approach to improving education, rehabilitation, and reentry services for incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people in North Carolina. Thank you, Roy Cooper, for that. These words are as important now as they ever were before. So yes, this is our Selma. Let's never forget our history, for when history is forgotten, it has a chance of repeating itself. Thank you.
Why we are here and why we love voting rights. Why do we love the ballot? It's through this process that we have power in our vote to elect the candidate that will best represent our interests and values. However, we have been robbed of the 1st Congressional District, intended to silence and dilute the power of the black belt communities. It was a strategic maneuver designed to help the GOP maintain control over the U.S. Congress in the upcoming 2026 midterm election. So we marched from Wilson here to Raleigh on these Capitol grounds to bother the system, to disrupt their plans. That is in this moment that we have decided that we are going to shine the light of love and mobilize voters from county to county, from precinct to precinct, from neighborhood to neighborhood, and get every infrequent voters to the polls to exercise our power and voting. And we must vote like never before. We cannot be satisfied, my sisters and brothers, when 90 million, hear me, when 90 million people did not vote in the 2024 election, while only 7,000 votes decided who now controls the House of Representatives. In the 1st Congressional District, the margin of victory for the presidential election was 1,100 votes, while 185,000 people did not vote. So it's time, and we must dispel the apathetic mindset that your vote does matter or that it will make a difference. It matters. No one steals anything that does not have value. So the ballot is valuable. Your voting power is valuable. It is the value in every policy decision that is made that will impact your life. This is why we love voting rights and love the ballot, because it has value. So say my voice is valuable. My vote is valuable. And we refuse to let anyone steal my vote, steal my ballot, steal my choice. Because first of all, the great Creator gave us all free will, the free will to choose. And so we refuse to let them steal our vote because it's valuable. We will love forward together. Come on, come on.
Thank you, Dr. Owens Barber. Thank you, thank you. North Carolina, are we ready to vote? Are we ready to vote? How many believe that we all ought to have living wages? How many of you think everybody deserves a fair living wage? We're bringing up to the mic now workers from the USSW, U.S. Southern Service Workers, Keith Bullard and Brandon, to talk about living wages.
Oh, come on, service workers, make some noise. Oh, we can do a little better than that. If you love unions, make some noise. Oh, man, my name is Keith Bullard. I'm the Deputy Director for the Union of Southern Service Workers, and we are out here because we believe love shows up, showing up just like all of us are out here today, am I right? We believe in real love that organize, and we show real love by organizing in our communities, organizing on our jobs. Real love looks like when workers come together in a city like Durham under a campaign called Durham Rising to stand up to say that this city was built by workers and it should serve workers, not the corporations, not the CEOs or the hedge fund managers. We believe in organizing love by standing up with Waffle House workers who are making $3.19 an hour. We believe that real love pays livable wages to all workers, not tip wages, but real living wages. We believe real love is protecting workers so that workers can go to work and come home, not go to work one way and leave out on the stretcher because of unsafe working conditions. We believe that real love for workers in our communities is by standing up for the most vulnerable people in our communities, standing up for all workers, our immigrant brothers and sisters, our neighbors. Real love organizes, and that's why we are here today, because our strategy is exactly in our chant today, that love forward together. Am I right? Yeah. Let me hear y'all say love forward together. One more time, say love forward together. Love forward together. Now I need y'all to make some noise for one of our worker leaders, Brandon.
Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Ruffin, and I'm a member of the Union of Southern Service Workers. A union built by and for low-wage workers across the South. I've worked retail most of my work career, never made more than $9 an hour. Nobody can survive on that. Many of us work full-time and are still poor, even though we keep this country running. We the ones that pack boxes, cook food, and clean buildings. Meanwhile, corporations and billionaires make record profits. Workers built this economy, but we're told to accept low pay, unsafe working conditions, and unpredictable schedules. That's not love, people. That is exploitation. This fight is also about who belongs. My immigrant brothers and sisters and family are being targeted the most right now. Most of them are being detained right now. They are not convicted felons, neither are they criminals. They are workers, they are parents and neighbors. When workers stand across race, immigration status, job titles, we shift power. That's real love in action. And we will win.
One last thing, y'all. Repeat after me. Say, it is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
We have nothing to lose.
Now make some noise.
When we talk about fighting and loving justice for the poor, what we're really talking about is loving people. People that have names, people that have stories, people that have families and dreams and dignity. This is not a black or white issue, left or right, red or blue, Democrat or Republican. This is about making sure all of humanity has access to the resources they are often denied. Throughout history, societies have been judged by how they treat the most vulnerable. Across all of our faith tradition, there's a common thread and a mandatory focus on providing care for the vulnerable, disadvantaged, and marginalized. Our faith reminds us that whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker. The prophet Isaiah reminds us that we are called to seek justice and defend the oppressed. Justice for the poor isn't just some secondary issue, but it is central to what it means to love mercy and do justice and walk humbly with our God. When people are trapped in poverty without access to fair wages, without access to education and health care or legal protection, it weakens the moral fabric of our entire community. Poverty is not just about lack of money, it's about a lack of opportunity and a lack of voices. Loving justice for the poor means more than just feeling sympathy. It's believing that every person carries equal worth. It means asking the hard questions about systems that keep people stuck in their situation. It means choosing generosity over indifference, advocacy over silence, compassion over convenience. Justice for the poor is love with courage. It is compassion with purpose. And if we believe that everybody has human value and worth, then loving justice for the poor is not just an option, but it is a reflection of our humanity. It is how we build a society where strength is used to lift up from the bottom. Lift up from the bottom, not measure success about how high and powerful rise, but how well the vulnerable stand. Let us love forward together. Let us love forward together.
Yes, sir. Together. Say it again.
Love forward together.
We need 4 people that'll come and relieve. We need black, white, diversity, Asian, brown, that'll relieve the banners. 4 people that'll come quickly and relieve the banners. We take care of each other. Say, take care of each other. Take care of each other. Now, quickly, we got to do something. Come on, choir, come on, choir. There's a song that they're going to sing, and you'll understand it in a minute. We are not just here rallying just to say what we want. We are saying it because we're educating so we can fight for what we want. Did you know in the last election, the presidential election was decided in this state by 185,000 votes? Over 400,000 African Americans did not vote, and over 1.2 million poor and low-wage people did not vote. And the number one reason they said is nobody talks to us. Did you know when they stole that district down east, they based it on only a 45% turnout? If 50% of the people turn out, the gerrymandering can become dummymandering. So there comes a time you have to focus not on what they have done, but what we are going to do. We have power. We have power. So we're not here talking about Democrats, Republicans, or independents. We're talking about the power that we have. And we're saying to politicians, don't just come tell us what you're against. Tell us what you're for. What are you loving forward for? So for 262 days, we're going to be calling on people with repairs of the breach and others to split up into teams, go county by county, precinct by precinct, to talk to the people nobody talks to. Is that all right? We're going to ask you from wherever you are to sign up to spend a weekend down east in the 30 counties down east. We're going to ask you to sign up for a phone bank, sign up for a text bank, because
love will go to work. Love will not just say, I love you. I have a grandmama, she's gone on to heaven now. One day I came home and I said, Grandmama, I love you. She said, if you do, go pick up that hoe and chop my garden. You don't have to kiss me. Go chop my garden. You don't have to hug me, chop my garden. In other words, put some work in. Touch 3 people and say, it's time to put some work in. How many of you are tired of meanness winning by default? They're not winning because they're winning because we're not turning out. Now, in order to do this work, every moral movement needs some money because mean folk got some money. Am I right? Y'all never heard me do this before, but how many of you know mean folk got some money? They put some mean. So I want you to look. There's a QR code on the screen. There's one here. And if you would like to sow into repairs of the breach for this work that we're going to be working on all of us to do, we want you to take out your phone and hit that QR code. Tell folk all over the nation, wherever you are, you can join this movement because what we do in North Carolina can have impact all over the nation. All over the nation, y'all. All over the nation. So it's up there. I'm not going to say it anymore because I don't ever beg folk to do things. I believe that what's in your heart, where your heart is, your treasure will be. But we got a hammer, y'all. And we got to use this hammer. Do we have a hammer, choir? Yeah. And we got to use this hammer. We got to hammer on some injustice. We got to hammer on some meanness. We got to use the hammer of love to break down these divisions. So while you are loving one another, hitting the QR code, there are a few more people coming. They're going to sing, I've Got a Hammer. Come on and sing together as we join as one people. Following me will be Judge Fitch and Steve Schmidt, 2 people you might never thought you'd see together on the stage. One has been a Republican, one's been a lifelong Democrat. I'm an independent, but something's happening, y'all. People are coming together all over all different kinds of lines, and they will come to the stage just after I've Got a Hammer.
Love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over the land.
because we love democracy, right? That's right. We're going to hear now from Judge Toby Fitch about why we love democracy. Come on, bring him up. Give him a hand. And while you're giving him a hand, reach that hand down in your pocket and support this movement.
Good afternoon. Isn't this a lovely day? I want my freedom and I want it all day. Right now. Not tomorrow. Right today. I'm glad to have been asked to have coordinated down in the Wilson area this. There goes my note. You know, it's a shame. I just celebrated 50 years as a lawyer. And so if my papers roll away, I don't know what to say. You know, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And that's what we're doing right now. We are gathering together in unity. We're talking about the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th amendments to the Constitution. That precious instrument that we all love, that every day is attempted to be withered away from us. You know, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Love says you are not property. The 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship. Love says you, me, and all of us matter and we belong. The 15th Amendment protects the right to vote. Love says your voice does matter and you will be heard, but we need to do what we need to do, and that is turn out like we have never turned out before. It's always good to watch the television and to watch the vote come in South Africa. I try to look at Steve Biko and those. Every weekend I can watch the television. And why is that important? It is important because people stayed in line, got in line all day, all week long to be able to cast that most precious thing called vote. So that's what we are beginning to do now, because what? The voting period has now opened. Let's go as never before. They tried to change and chain our bodies. Well, we broke that chain. They tried to deny our humility. But that also has changed. They declared that we do belong. Now that we do belong, what are they going to do with us? They're going to do exactly what that document says. We, the people of the United States, not somebody else, but we. They tried to silence us. They said that we had no future. They said that we do have a voice. Because we do. We do have a voice. And when we exercise that voice, not Democrat, not Republican, not independent. See, I've been around Reverend Barber long enough to have gone to school with him. I was a little younger than he was. And it was always good to be able to sit in the dorm, to be able to talk to somebody whose time it was to lead his people. We thank him and we thank his wife for being the servants that they have been and that they will be. Well, you see, When I started talking about Numbers 13, 14, and 15, I started thinking about 42. 42. I think about 42 because we are witnesses. We are demanding our freedom. We know that we are citizens. And when you add all of that together, what you have is power. 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 Power to determine what your destiny is, not what somebody says it shall be. God bless you all. Let's turn out like never before and let victory roll down like water.
Somebody give it up for our judge. And you should know that in 1968, this man and others walked from Raleigh to Wilson to change the directory of politics in this state. We have come from Wilson to Raleigh to change the directory of politics in this state. Come on and welcome our friend Steve Schmidt to the microphone. My brother. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. 250 years ago, the world was remade when the greatest idea in all of history was put to paper by the hand of man. An incomplete idea that 250 years later, down the river of the long American story, we find ourselves standing here together today to reaffirm it, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we do not come today to negotiate or to plead for our rights, because they do not come from Donald Trump and Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. They come from a higher power. And we are not here to negotiate the freedom of speech and the freedom of assembly and the freedom of religion. We are here to declare that we are not indifferent to the suffering of the child on a cold, hard concrete floor in a jail cell in an American concentration camp. We say no. We are in an hour of great crisis in this country. But we are in also the early hours of a great awakening in this country. It is beyond my capacity to explain why it is this test has come. But we all know that there is a dark night ahead before the dawn will break, and this is not new. 250 years ago, after those words rang out a declaration of independence that we would not live under a king, the revolution was all but lost. Faith had evaporated in the cause, and words were put to paper by a young man, 26 years of age, an immigrant. And he said something that holds true to this hour, 250 years later. He said in that desperate moment in December of 1776, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will in this crisis shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods. And it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. Today, we stand in defiance. Today, we stand up as Americans. We stand up as brothers and sisters against the wrong in the name of the right. Our freedom will not go gently into that good night.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Will not go gently. Somebody say, will not go gently. Now, I know sometimes my folk get a little aggravated, but I want to do this. Katrina, come here, and I want that lift to go up and get Sloan up here. We have a rule at Repairers. We don't ever put folk in front of the impacted. And each person that you had impacted, people formerly incarcerated, voting rights. We've got our voting rights lawyers coming, some preachers coming. But this sister here, who fights every day, is a powerful spoken word artist, and she heard something and she's going to put it together. And then I want to bring Sloan and his friend here. You will understand that when you see them, they even were arrested in the rotunda, standing for freedom. When you see Sloan in them, there won't be much else to say. Our goal is at 12:15. We're going to go to work. We're going to leave this place. I want everybody to be mindful of that. But I want this sister speak out of her heart, Sloan to come. Then the others that are here will come in brief order, quick order. And then the last song we're going to sing together is called Solidarity. Because that's what it's going to take. Solidarity, Joyce. Katrina, the Spirit put something on your heart. Let it out.
This is dedicated to my mother, who is the epitome of love. Keep fighting, Ma. The Bible states from the heavens above that God is love. It is shown by its nature, and its action is heard because actions always speak louder than words. Love is patient, like the ones Alex Preddy took care of. Love is kind or good for the soul, like Renee Nicole. It is not envy. It does not boast. It is not like most. It is not proud. It is not silent. It is loud. It does not display violent raids and tactics of unnecessary order. It does not dishonor others like Keith Porter. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It does not record of wrongs. It does not point fingers. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It protects, trusts, hopes, and endures each of you. Love like God. It never fails. Love moves forward. It writes letters from jail. It marched. It overcame. It sat at lunch counters. It had a dream. It waded in waters. It rode with freedom on buses. It gets in good trouble. It stands up for justice. It signed the Emancipation Proclamation. It took on the Board of Education. It broke barriers while breaking records. It walked peacefully in the cold and snow from Texas. It arrived at the state capitol. It's a General Assembly. This is our Selma from Wilson to Raleigh. It repairs breaches. It campaigns for poor people. It will not let gerrymander. It created men that are equal. You see, love, it will mobilize. Love, it will strategize. Love, it will legalize. But you first gotta visualize. You write it down. You make it plain. Love replaces fear. Love replaces pain. It will pay a living wage. It will end poverty. It will welcome immigrants. It will rule the majority. It will instate voting rights. It will support public education. It will restore religious values. It is the core of our nation. It will provide health care for all. It will save our environment. It will not choose sides. Its truths will be self-evident. It will melt away ice, hearts that are frozen and cold. You gotta know this isn't of love. You gotta let that hate go. Ice out, love in, because then and only then will love win. Just follow the sun. Look to the skies above. These three remain faith, hope, but the greatest, and I do mean the greatest of these is love.
My friends, please welcome Sloan Meek. And coming with him is Savia Carroll.
Hi, I am Savia Carroll, and this is my friend and bandmate Sloan Meek. We have both been speaking out about the issue of losing Medicaid and our other supports for almost a year now. And everything seems to be getting worse. We are scared of losing Medicaid and SNAP and losing all the support we need to live our lives. We are scared to see our friends and neighbors disappear, get sick, and die. Please have an open heart. Spread love. And love your neighbor as you would want to be loved. Thank you.
Name, luncheon, Raleigh. GA, love forward.
The cruel and deadly policies by people in our state and federal government are making us feel very tired. We are so tired of being scared for our lives. We are tired of being treated as disposable. We are tired of our rights, our medical care, and our supports being taken away, and being told if we ask for help, we are abusing and taking advantage of the system. We are tired of constant death threats. We all have to promise to fight for our voting rights, so we can love our neighbors. So we can vote to take care of all the people who are scared and tired right now. We have to vote for love.
If you're ready to love forward with Sloan and Savia, say yeah. Our friends from Forward Justice are also here to talk to us about the fight for voting rights. Let me welcome them to the stage. Please join me.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Ashley Mitchell, and I stand before you not just as a staff attorney at Forward Justice or a civil rights attorney, but as a proud North Carolinian from the eastern part of the state who refuses to stay silent while our democracy is under attack. I am a resident of CD1, where the racist gerrymandering maps were recently passed, and this fight directly impacts me, my family, my church family, and my community at large. In Congressional District 1 and Congressional District 3, new redistricting maps have surgically stripped away black and brown voting strength. Lines have been drawn with precision to weaken the impact of diverse communities and to make it harder for our votes to truly count. This is modern day gerrymandering with Jim Crow's handwriting all over it. And let's not forget our college campuses. The removal and restriction of voting sites on campuses such as Elizabeth City State University, which hits home to me, and North Carolina A&T State University is a direct attack on young, black, brown, and first-time voters, the very people who represent the future of this state. We demand that legislators and election officials reverse these harmful changes. We demand fair district maps that reflect our communities, not erase them. We demand accessible early voting, fair absentee ballot rules, and equitable campus voting sites. And to those that are trying to silence us, especially those of us out there in the East, you will not succeed. We are organized, we are informed, and we are powerful. Thank you.
Ooh, thank you, Ashley. My name is Kat Robles. I am Voting Rights Counsel at Forward Justice. We are here because we love voting rights for all, not just the rich or the privileged, but for all. As Ashley already told you, entrenched groups have long tried to keep the vote out of the hands of the less powerful, and this is the cycle we have seen over and over again in North Carolina. Each time black and brown voters gain power, gain access to the franchise, there is a backlash and an attempt to cut back on those rights. And I'm here to tell you that if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to suppress it. And we need to remember our power. Despite all of the efforts to suppress the vote, let's talk about the amazing things that we have won. Ashley just talked about Eastern North Carolina. They already tried to take that district away in 2022 and in 2024. And did it work? No. They already said they took that district away. They gerrymandered it out, but the people came out. They voted for someone who represented their interests. So don't let anyone tell you that district is gone. We are in the cycle right now. I know people like Ashley are going to be out and voting. We also saw an attempt to steal a Supreme Court space in the last election. I know a lot of you guys were right here with me. In 2024, we saw someone trying to change the rules of the election after it was already decided, to retroactively toss out votes. But the people responded. They came out here to tell their stories. They came to the legislature, to the Capitol, over and over again. Ultimately, Judge Griffin conceded that race because of the voices of so many of you here today. Early voting has already started. Please, please go out and vote and call 888-OUR-VOTE. If your neighbors are being intimidated, please look out for your Latino neighbors. Please report if you see ICE.
Yes.
Forward together. Forward together. We are fighting for the democracy that has yet to be. Not the democracy that was. Not the democracy that is. But the democracy that must be. The democracy that will change the South to change this nation. The democracy that respects the fruit of the workers' labor. The democracy that frees us to love our neighbor as ourself. As we close, we are here to say we are not done fighting in North Carolina. We are not done litigating in North Carolina. We are not done making demands in North Carolina on those who are in power to live up to the dreams of Sloan. To live up to the dreams of our babies. We know another world is possible because there has always been another America, and we are among those who are going to bring it into being. Bishop Barber asked us to come today to say to you all, the fight is not over in the racial gerrymander in this state. The fight is not over in 2026. We will be continuing to fight in the courts, and we will stand with you until the other America is here.
Yeah. Come on, give it up for our lawyers. I want y'all to hear that. We're exploring right in that way new ways of litigating. I see Al McShirley, her daddy raising his fist. Touch your neighbor and say, we are not finished fighting. We fight in the courts. We fight in the streets. We fight in the ballot box. We fight with our prayers. We fight it with our love. But we will fight. Every day. All day. Every day. All day. There was a group that came in the moment we said we wanted to rally, love forward. They called and said, we're in, indivisible. Indivisible. They've asked if repairs of the breach would join them on the main stage on the 28th, I believe, coming up. We've been there 3 times, but we want indivisible to have a word right now. And after they come, before we get to our last few groups, you know, Jonathan, come over here, Jonathan. Jonathan, we had a little strange thing that happened to us. Somebody sent us a Valentine. I said, what in the world? But we said we're not going to keep it up.
We're not going to keep it to ourselves. After Sister Karen comes, we got a Valentine all the way from Texas for you.
Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson said, I can't be there with you, but I can send a song for you. He said, I'm going to send a Valentine to all the people that are walking and loving forward together. And he said next time if he can come, he'll come. But he sent us a special song for this special day. And then we'll close out. And then the last song will be Solidarity when we give our final marching note. But before that, Indivisible. Let's welcome.
You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. How many of you are connected to the work of Indivisible? There's thousands of groups all over the country. We have hundreds of groups here in North Carolina. I'm telling you, 9 years ago, when Trump was first elected, we were so depressed. We were so depressed. And so what did we do? We knew what to do because we'd been part of Moral Mondays with Bishop Barber. He had shown us what to do. So we kept meeting together. We kept studying. We kept learning. And every time we came together, we felt better. No matter what was happening, our hearts were breaking. But when we came together and felt each other's energy like we're feeling it today, we felt better and we felt stronger and we got stronger. And that's what's happening. And just like we took all our cues from what we learned from Bishop Barber and Moral Mondays, I want to just give a shout out to Minneapolis. Because those people showed us what to do now. We organize our neighbors. Yes, we protest. We also do mutual aid. And so here in North Carolina, we're organizing to stop the camps, to stop the detention camps, to stop ICE, to stop the voter suppression that is happening right now in the General Assembly and the North Carolina Board of Elections. We're going to stop it. We're going to block it. We're going to do some good trouble. Join us.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Indivisible. Bishop, come wrap this section before we open our Valentine.
Amen. Never thought I'd get an opportunity to open for Willie Nelson. My name is Bishop W. Darren Moore, and this is my colleague, Bishop Darren Mitchell. We're bishops of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. Zion Strong, the Freedom Church, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Coretta Scott King. James Walker Hood stood in Raleigh in 1865, a bishop in the AME Zion Church, and demanded voting rights in North Carolina. Here we are 161 years later and declaring we refuse to go back through gerrymandering. Will you cheer those who are around you? Because they dare to show up for justice. They dare to show up for equality. Because when you show up, if you show up in Minneapolis, ice melts. If you show up in Selma, racism is confronted. If you show up in Birmingham, desegregation melts. I've come to tell you, we're showing up and we refuse to quit. So on this day, march together, walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land.
Will is coming. Would you say the right to put a ballot in a ballot box? The right to sit in a jury box. The right to public education for every child. These rights are ours. These rights we demand. These rights, by God, we will have. That is the quote from Bishop Walker of the AME Zion Church in 1868 in this building right behind us. If they fought then, we have to fight now. All right, Willie. There he is.
Open arms, guiding light, a beacon of hope in the night. The stars and the stripes, a spirit that's always gonna fly. What makes us different, makes us strong. Together we will carry on. The heart of America is still dreaming, dreaming of things to come. And it's beating like a drum. Oh, the heart of America. It's a hand reaching out to your brother in a moment of doubt. The freedom in our lungs to sing a song that's never been sung. And there's room for everyone. The heart of America is still dreaming, dreaming of things to come. It's beating, beating like a drum. Oh, the heart of America. rings out good and loud like the Liberty Bell. The heart of America is still dreaming of things to come. And it's beating like a drum. Oh, the heart of America. Oh, the heart of America.
Bringing up our last speakers, and then we will have Bishop Barber come back and give us our marching and charging orders. All right? Is that all right? Let me hear you. Love forward together. Love forward together. All right.
Hello, North Carolina. Hello, America. Many years ago, Martin Luther King said that all human beings are tied together in a single garment of destiny, that we are caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality. And this means that we are not each isolated individuals locked up in our own personal identity, but we are all interdependent, interconnected, interpenetrating. And what follows from this is that our ethical obligation is the obligation of love. And what love means in practice is that we should affirm one another, recognize our intrinsic dignity, that we should support one another, uplift one another, and fulfill our common destiny. And our common destiny must be motivated by love, driving us towards justice for all, equality of rights for all, to push for education for all, a sound economy that supports everybody in this country, and that we should become a nation not committed to aggression, to isolation, and a pursuit of our own selfish concerns, but we should be a nation of boundless generosity, supporting and uplifting all human beings throughout this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Love forward, not one step back. I am a mom of a developmentally delayed daughter, and I'm here today for all the mothers who know that our children need health care. We need health care for our children. My daughter's expenses are over $3,000 a month. I cannot afford that. But I worked 33 years in North Carolina public school system as a teacher. My daughter deserves health care. And I am here to say we're going to get out and vote. We're going to move forward.
forward for our children and for our school system and for our immigrants and all things that are needed. God bless you.
Hello, North Carolina. Nothing could be finer than this gathering today. Amen. I bring you greetings from the North Carolina Council of Churches because we stand with you today. Because we love strong public education for all of our people. And we want the best health care for all of our people. But we know that health care and education in our state can be determined by the zip code you live in and by the color of your skin. I come from Greensboro. We can go from one zip code to another and reduce our life expectancy by 10 years. We cannot be the communities we want to be. We cannot be the state we want to be until we have strong public education and the best health care for all of our people. Amen.
Good afternoon, Movement family. I'm David Neal, and I'm here to talk about a livable climate. And I want to thank the monk Bhante for reminding us of the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., written 60 years ago from a Birmingham jail cell. They remain true today when it comes to the fight for a livable climate and environmental justice. The coal that Duke Energy burns in Stokes County, the methane gas fired up in Goldsboro, dumps carbon into the atmosphere, accelerating a warming climate. In a real sense, we've all been made guinea pigs by the fossil fuel corporations in an uncontrolled experiment at a global scale. Their carbon pollution makes droughts more extreme, leading to uncontrollable wildfires. Their carbon pollution fuels superstorms, bringing biblical floods. Their carbon pollution brings sea level rise, putting homes and farmland at risk. We are indeed caught in a single garment of destiny when it comes to our shared climate. Now, as things stand today, Duke and other polluters don't pay for the harms of their carbon pollution, yet we are asked to pay ever higher utility bills and provide higher shareholder returns, even as its corporate parent rakes in record profits of up to $5 billion and slows progress towards decarbonization. We surely can do better. We have the tools we need to make an affordable, clean grid. Solar, wind, battery storage have proven to be cost-effective. It can be done. It must be done. With solar and batteries, we can now make and store electricity wherever the sun shines. We can own our power.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Buenos días, Carolina del Norte. Why we love our immigrant neighbors? Well, as a child of seasonal immigrant workers and as an immigrant myself, not loving immigrants would mean I do not love myself. As a husband of a child of a father who was a farm worker, not loving immigrants would mean not loving my wife and my in-laws. As an immigrant United Methodist pastor, not loving immigrants would mean not loving many of the people I serve. Wait, The truth is that unless you belong to the First Nations people of this country, not loving immigrants would mean that you do not love yourself. One of the ways to love forward is loving immigrants. Unlike the anti-immigrant rhetoric we have heard lately, and in spite of the persecution that immigrants community had experienced, immigrants keep loving, immigrants keep spreading their strong family values and work ethic. Immigrants keep contributing to make the United States stronger. Let's keep loving forward.
I'm here today because I have chosen to love forward. I'm here today because many of the youth, the children of immigrant parents are living in fear, are experiencing great levels of anxiety and depression. Many children and youth are in detention centers right now as we enjoy this beautiful sun together. They are in detention centers living in fear, not knowing when they will be able to play freely again. They are being robbed of their childhood, of their innocence. They are wounded. And they don't understand why their parents are being called rapists and criminals when they all want to do is to work hard and provide for their family, for their education, for their well-being. David prayed to God when the prophet Nathan confronted him because he raped and violated Bathsheba. And David prayed to God and said, create in me a clean heart, O God. Put a new and right spirit within me. And I pray for those who violate their fellow human beings. Create in them a clean heart, O God. Put a new and right spirit within them. And I pray also for all of us because we are connected. Create in us a clean heart of God. Put a new and right spirit within us.
I wanted that sister to come before we went home. Help me with this, Jonathan. Because I heard her in the rotunda, and she lifted us to the true test of love. And I wanted her to come and us to hear it before we talk about solidarity. I do want to ask you once again if you want to join this effort, particularly down east, but also across the state, then make sure you hit that QR code so you can go straight to the website, have all the information. Before you leave, I want to ask the people at the end of this to put it up on the screen so before you leave, you can take a screenshot. But now I want you to listen in real deep to what you just heard. She said that if we're truly going to be a movement of love, we have to be willing to even love in the hopes of those that oppose us coming into a clean heart. The love that is dangerous is not the love that just loves those who are lovable and loves those who are like you like. But when you can hold out enough love to believe, even if they never change, you never give up the hope that they will. I happen to be a gospel preacher, and by both the Spirit and the command of the Word, I'm required to pray for my enemies. Not easy. Bless them that despitefully use me. Not easy. But my claim of love is counterfeit unless it's done. And what if we could produce enough love that many of our confused friends would no longer be confused? What if enough love would come forth, enough truth would come forth that people could be shaken out of the lies they have believed? You do know that even at the foot of the cross, one of those who crucified Jesus ended up believing him. You do know that after those 4 girls were killed in Birmingham, people who had been sitting on the fence got off the fence and said no more. You do know that hate can go too far. You do know that meanness can go too far. And meanness can create such a heaviness on people that it creates an opening on their hearts. We are called now to solidarity as the choir comes on the stage. And as those speakers who are left that can come back on the stage, and as the staff at Repairs of the Breach comes on the stage, and as those who have emceed come on the stage, we're going to try to go to every corner and every house to talk to the people that the consultants ignore. That's why our vote is so low in this country, Michelle. It's because people have been so ignored. They don't feel loved by the politics. Nelson Johnson, before he passed, told us God made a universe, not a monoverse. And that wasn't meant for just one person. George said it was a universe. But he also said something to me one day. He looked me in the eye before he passed. We were sitting alone. He said, Barber, you've got to push folk to love, because the hate is going to create an energy that's going to go somewhere. And if it doesn't go to love, it will go to destruction. And that destruction will end up killing us all. If you can, grab a neighbor and say, it's time for me to love you and never let you go. I mean, grab them, hold them, and say, you might get to shaking, but I'm not going to let you go. You might get on my last nerve sometime, but I'm not going to let you go. You might make me mad sometimes, but I'm not going to let you go. Because you might cause me a fit, but you're not against my humanity. You might make me mad sometime, but you're not trying to take my health care. You might get on my nerves sometime, but you're not shooting me down in the street. I do know the difference between a flawed friend and an outright enemy. And love never requires perfection. I said to the folk I try to lead, if you're looking for a perfect leader that will always tell you what you want to hear, you got the wrong one. But if you're looking for somebody that's when you're down, will stay there with you and help you up, then I'm the one you're looking for. Because love lifted me when nothing else would help. God is love, not God is loving. God is love. God not trying to love. God is love. The Spirit is love, as my indigenous friends say. The great Spirit is love. And that love will cast out fear. If you got that kind of love, look at your neighbor and say, I ain't fearing nothing today. I know the sun's going to come up tomorrow. I know justice is going to ultimately win. I know every dark Friday there will be a Sunday resurrection. I know the enemy might come in, but God will raise up a standard every time. I know I might have some bad days, but my good days will outweigh my bad days. Because perfect love casts out all fear. All of it. You thought we were going to be scared of a president, you got another thought coming. You thought we were going to be scared of a Congress, you got another thought coming. You thought we were going to be scared of a chief of staff, you got another thought coming. Do you know who we come from? We come from Dorothy Day. We come from Mother Jones. We come from Harriet Tubman. We come from Frederick Douglass. We come from the Latinos that stood for right. We come from Cesar Chavez. We come from Pope Francis. We come from Martin King and Coretta King and Fannie Lou Hamer. That's who we come from. We come from Ella Baker. We come from John Lewis. We come from the people who walked across Selma in the face of dogs. You must not know who we are. We are the lovers that God let us live to see this day. I'm looking for one crowd and I'm through. How many of you in your life know that you faced some deaths but it didn't kill you? If you here and know you could have been dead, raise your hand. See what I'm saying? Now turn to that neighbor beside you and say, I could have been dead and sleeping in my grave. But since I'm here, clothed in my right mind, got a heart full of love, I'm gonna fight for what's right every day. Hey, what's so hard about that? Oh, yeah, that was so cool. The Spirit. I feel the Holy Ghost. This is a love circle. God is blessing us right now. And so we've been solid here together. Hook up somebody's arm and say solidarity. Forever. Who's going to join us going from house to house? Who's going to join us calling everybody you know? Who's going to join us waking up the sleep in North Carolina? Who's going to help North Carolina show the rest of the nation this is how you love. This is how you stand. This is how you fight. This is how you change things. This is how you make a difference. Shout solidarity. Forever. Solidarity. Forever. Solidarity. Forever. It's time. It's time. It's time to love forward together. Forever. 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 Grab your neighbor while we sing. Tell them I got you. We got each other. Tell them can't nobody break this up. We were born for this. Repairs of the breach, we were born for this. North Carolina Council of Church, we were born for this. Indivisible, we were born for this. Labor unions, we were born for this. AME Zion Church United Methodist, we were born for this. Hook up somebody, hook up. Let's get a sway. We were born for this. 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 Let it be so, God. Let it be so, God. Let it be so.
We're gonna stand in our solidarity. We're gonna stand in our solidarity. We're gonna stand in our solidarity.
We can't tolerate the injustice no more. We can't sit back while they are closing the door. Don't you understand? If we're silent, we die. No one will be heard. This is the word we're gonna bring to you. Solidarity. We're
Just hold on to it and embrace it. Share it with others. Solidarity.
And the people must always be heard. And the people must always be heard.
All the people.
And the people must always be heard.
North, the south, the east, and the west.
People must always be heard.
All the people.
And the people must always be heard.
People must always be heard. People must always be heard. Oh, people must always be heard. And the people must always be heard. And the people must always be heard. And the people must always be. People must always be. People must always be.
We thank you, Great Spirit, for allowing us to come together, but for purpose, not just for play. Now we leave this mobilization to begin organization. We go to work now. This is the revival, but the aftermath will prove what the revival has produced. And one more thing before we get out of these streets, since we got them till 1 o'clock. We don't trust activists that can't dance. Ain't it right, Al? Something wrong with people that just want to be mean all the time. Right? Something wrong. You ever seen these folks, they mad all the time. They just mean, but something wrong when you wake up in the morning, all you want to do is hurt somebody. So we gotta make sure that the most of us out here got the right spirit. I see you over there, Council of Churches. So I want that sound man to find a song that says there comes a time you just got to give the people. Not the individuals. Not the lobbyists. Not the greatest corporation. But you got to give the people. Sound man, you got that yet? And when y'all hear that, let us dance as we go to fight. Make sure you find 3 or 4 people before you leave here that you don't even know, and tell them, I am so glad that we're going to love forward together, and we're never going back to normalcy. Sound man, do you hear me? I'll know when I hear tick, 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 tick. Are you working on it? How about, he says Wi-Fi go, oh Lord. Well, that's all right. We got a band here. If they can't do it, huh? That's all right. We'll stick with that. Yara, come on and let's lift up where y'all came in here when y'all was singing about forward together, not one step back. They created their own song for this movement. Y'all still got it?
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Come on, band. Come on, band. Let's kick it off here before we leave this place. Y'all feel that? Nancy says, shout love win. Somebody shout love win. Somebody shout love win. Oh, yeah. Come on and dance. Come on, let's have a street party, since we're going to have a street fight. But it's going to be the fight of love. All right, Freddie. All right, bass. All right. Everybody's got a hand. Put those posters and wave them in the air. No justice. Love. Come on, come on. Come on. Come on now. Come on, love. Yeah. Come on, Hannah. Come on, come on. Come on, Delta. Come on. a stomp. Give me a step. Give me a step, Alpha. Come on.
And we won't be denied.
Step.
We stand together.
Step.
We're loving forward.
Everybody,
and we
pick your feet up one at a time. Step. 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 We're loving forward. Step. 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 Yeah.
We won't be denied.
How about this side? Put your hands up on the left side. Come on the left side.
We stand together.
Say it.
We're loving forward.
Say it.
We won't be denied.
This is our Selma.
We stand together. We're loving forward. And we won't be denied. This is our Selma. We stand together. We're loving forward. We won't
God bless you.
be denied.
God bless you. All right, kick it in the high band. Yeah.
We want to make sure everybody is safe. Those that are riding the buses are going to be taking off over here. So we want to make sure that everyone is safe. Those who are riding buses, the buses will be picking up over to the left of me, to the right of you, over to the left. Thank y'all so very much. Lost and found can also be found by the van. If you've lost something during your trek from Shaw to here, lost and found can be found over here by the white van. Thank you. Love always wins. Yeah.
Play the bass, play the bass, come on. Hey, play the bass, come on. When I say we want, you say justice, we want. That's it, we want. That's it. When I say we want, you say justice, we want. That's it, we want. That's it. When I say love, you say more with love. Love, love, love.
combo. We'll be fine.
You want me to pick up the mic?
Yeah, you can hold it. I'm going to do a little thing, but then I got you. We're nice and easy. Well, folks, I'm sure you've got the same energy I've got. Wesley Lowery here with the Black Star Network. We've been out here in the State House steps in Raleigh, North Carolina, after marching east to west from Wilson to Raleigh with the repairers of the breach, Reverend Barber. As you guys know, we've seen clergy, we've seen affected people, and we've seen a really remarkable assembly of people messaging and conversation about what we do in this moment. So many folks who feel mobilized, who feel frustrated, who feel angry. But as you all know, I don't have to tell Black Star Network viewers this, that in those moments we channel that energy and that anger into a positive vision. And so we've listened to Reverend William Barber on his Move Forward Through Love. This is our Selma March. We've listened to the 7 takeaways of what he wants folks to do next as they respond to the Trump administration's attempts to redistrict and to dilute here in North Carolina black votes, but also in states across the country. The response to ICE and to Border Patrol, the response to an administration that largely has behaved in an unaccountable manner. And so now we want to talk to a number of folks who've been out here, a number of the speakers we've listened to, some of the marchers and demonstrators, people we've interviewed over the last 3 or 4 days, just to talk a little bit about what we all should be doing in this moment. And so the first person I want to talk with, I'm really excited to have him here, is Steve Schmidt. Steve Schmidt is one of the founders of the Save America movement. He's been a long-time political strategist. And Steve, someone who maybe historically might have been, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, might not have been in a rally like this, just with the way the politics played out, right?
Yeah.
I know you know Roland, but might not be a regular on the Black Star Network historically. Right. Talk to me a little bit about your political evolution, what brings you into a space like this to help found something like the Save America movement, and about the message, because what we saw here, I mean, those of us who come up in a civil rights tradition, we're used to very often seeing groups of people, churched black folk from the South, but we've really seen a multicultural set of folks, people from across the political spectrum, people across different faith traditions. And so talk to me a little bit about this movement that is rising in this moment and your role in it.
Well, I think we're in a moment where we're at the beginning of a great awakening in the country. In 1936, the Democratic National Convention, Franklin Roosevelt said that there's a peculiar rhythm to history. He said, some generations much is given to, and others much is expected of. And he went on and said, this generation has a rendezvous with destiny. And I was born in 1970. I was a New Jersey moderate in my politics. Of course, there's an important civil rights tradition in the Republican Party, the party of Lincoln, including throughout the 1960s. A congressman that I deeply admired was Jack Kemp. And Jack Kemp, when he played with the Buffalo Bills, refused to stay in a segregated hotel. He insisted that he would sleep in the same hotel as his teammates and the black players. And, for me, I've always believed in justice. I made a speech in favor of gay marriage 3 years before President Obama was for it. And I come from that side of the Republican Party. Now, I think one thing that's lost is that on the day that Trump came down the escalator, every single person in the Republican Party, 100%, who were not in that room, had the same position I have today about Donald Trump.
That's right.
But 11 years later, you look around, there's about 5 of us who stayed true to their values. And everybody has capitulated to a fascist. And you have seen this cancer spread. There is no conservative movement in America. It was rotten, and its rot made it ripe for infection. And the infection is the disease of fascism. And that's what we're seeing. And what this is about today, to me, it's not about left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. It is about right versus wrong. It's about human dignity. It's about freedom. And as we speak here today, there are little children caged, laying on concrete floors. And we have to oppose that. And so a new coalition, an American coalition, I sense is rising all over the country. You know, for so much of the last 20 years, Republicans and Democrats had vituperative debates over, for example, tax policy. You go back and you listen, well, apparently the delta between a just and unjust world was the disagreement between a 39 and a 35%
it was a marginal tax rate, right? Exactly.
And I think now we see, right, you have powerful institutions, and what those institutions share in common is much more than what they disagree with about. And there is a movement rising up of ordinary people, and those ordinary people are leading the politicians in this moment, who are, I think, racing to catch up, because we don't want to compromise on issues like mass secret police. It's un-American, and it's a direct threat to our liberty.
Absolutely. Why do you think so many Republican politicians still capitulate to him, even today, right? We think about it in this last week, right? And we could list a million Donald Trump racist behaviors, right? But he very literally posted a video from the social media accounts of the President of the United States depicting the first black president and his wife as monkeys, right? We're talking about actual cartoon character racism, right? Not like
full on Grand Wizard.
Correct. Just like weird
racism.
stuff like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
not someone calling it a
Disgraceful.
dog whistle. We're having a debate
100%.
about. And yet, even in that moment, right, and maybe there's less of it in this term than there was the last term, you still, we all know congressional reporters who chase Republicans around, like, oh, I haven't seen the tweet, or I didn't see the video, or, did he mean that? Why do you think even in this moment, we certainly have seen people who have stood up and said things, but we've seen a lot of people try to duck their head, avoid the camera, try not to upset anyone. What does that say to you?
We have a tremendous crisis of character in this country, in the elite classes, the Epstein class. And the cowardice is extraordinary, but not ahistoric. What you're seeing is, for selfish reasons, personal ambition, people genuflecting, getting on their knees to what they know is wrong for convenience. And I think about the quote that General Grant is attributed to General Grant at the moment of secession. He said, there are only two parties in America, patriots and traitors. And hereafter, I wish to be associated with the former, not the latter. And these people took an oath to the Constitution of the United States, which is being lit on fire. And they're faithless to that oath. And the question for all of the American people, black, white, brown, everyone, is whether we're going to let them get away with it. Are we indifferent to that? And we cannot be indifferent to it. Indifference is a sin of the highest magnitude in this moment.
Of course. Before I let you go, can you tell our viewers a little bit more about the Save America movement, about the work you all are doing, some of your partnership with Reverend Barber, and what you want to see happen between now and this November and now and the next presidential election?
MAGA is headed for the ash heap of history. We will prevail, and we will win. The Save America movement is 7 months old. More than 800,000 people have written checks, an average of $20. We are advertising across the world. We're targeting some of Trump's most malicious ambassadors with advertising in Poland, in Denmark, in Canada. We're targeting Apple. We're targeting Estee Lauder. Ron Lauder is the architect of the seizure of Greenland. We are communicating into the White House with ads that Trump will see, trying to model courage. We're organizing, we're opposing. Wherever MAGA is, we'll confront it, we'll strike at it, and we'll communicate to the American people what's at stake. And we've built a nonpartisan coalition of American patriots, multi-ethnic, multiracial, old and young. We're involved in the public lands debate, the public health debate, We have a lot of veterans on the huge security issues. I think one thing for your viewers to understand, we're likely to be at war with Iran within the month. There's been no debate. There's no strategy. There's no plan. Just another disaster where America's working class kids are going to get sent to die for nonsense. And we got to oppose it. And so the Save America movement is one of the opposition groups that is going to exist until all of this is over. And we have to appreciate, we know how it's going to end. We're going to win. But things are going to get worse before they get better. More people are going to get shot in the back. More women are going to get shot in the head. These masked ICE Gestapo have been funded, including with Democratic Party votes. Important to remember, 7 Democratic senators voted to confirm Kristi Noem. Another 7 didn't vote at all. And so one of the things we're trying to communicate is this is a time for standing up for the right. It's inexcusable to fund a secret police in America. The Democratic congressman, an African-American, voted for more ICE funding in this district. And the reason that he did it, he says, is because he needed to pick up some votes here and there. No. We have to stand together, and we have to stand tall in a moment where these fascists are trying to knock us down. And we have to have a fierce conviction that demands real reform. We're going to have to break up these tech companies. We're going to have a lot of reform in this country with legislation. And it starts with knocking down his monstrosity on the White House grounds. Because if we can't do that, it's going to be hard to break up Facebook. And so what's going to come next in America is profound change, not incremental change. And that's what we're building to, and we got to be in the fight towards that goal.
Steve Schmidt, thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for joining us. You know, you're
Say hi
welcome
to
back
Roland.
here. We're going to say hi to Roland,
You got
who
it.
wishes he
Roland.
was here, although we know he loves his All-Star Weekend, so he's
Right.
having a good time too.
Absolutely.
But Steve, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
You got it.
Of course, folks, thank you for joining us here on the Black Star Network, where we're going to continue streaming here from Raleigh in the State House, where we have been following a massive march from Wilson, North Carolina, in the east of the state, all the way now here to the grounds of the State House in Raleigh. We have marched through the eastern side of the state, where in Congressional District 1, the Trump administration has attempted to delude the votes that have led to the election of Don Davis and a series of African-American and Democratic congressmen as part of Donald Trump's aggressive attempts to hold on to his narrow House majority. And so we've got a ton of folks lined up. We've been watching as Reverend Barber and others address the crowd from the stage. And now what we have is a few of the clergy members who have spoken, who spoke to the crowd, who are going to come and sit down with us and talk to us about what the experience has been like here, what we are looking at, looking forward, and what we should expect in the coming days and coming months. And so I'm excited now for one of our clergy members who are joining us here. How about you go ahead and introduce yourself to our viewers?
Good. My name is Bishop W. Darren Moore. I'm a presiding bishop with the AME Zion Church, known as the Freedom Church. I like to make it clear that the AME Zion Church is the church of Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, Coretta Scott King.
What a legacy.
And James Walker Hood. So it's a powerful legacy of advocacy on behalf of our people.
And so for our viewers at home, I mean, we know everyone's been watching the entire live stream, right? But just in case maybe someone just tuned in, tell them a little bit about what you said in your address and what you've been talking to people about here. Why was it important for you to show up, and what is the message you want people to hear?
Well, you hit it on the head. Showing up. Showing up is 50% of the battle. All of us may not be articulate. All of us aren't able to contribute huge numbers of dollars. All of us may not be able to have a legal understanding. But when we show up, we make a difference. They showed up in Minneapolis, and they melted ice. Think about the times through human history that just showing up made a difference. I often say to people, we think about and fantasize about, where would I have been during the great moments throughout civil rights history? Where would I have been during the Montgomery boycott, the March on Washington, crossing Edmund Pettus Bridge? Well, the best way of knowing where you would have been then is where are you now?
Where are you right now? Because people are
Sure.
marching, people are gathering now. Now, here's the question I always ask to ministers, to members of clergy, because, you know, as a millennial of the social media generation, right, sometimes there's a skepticism of, oh, everyone's marching around singing songs, right? Can you speak to the power of demonstration, the power of protest, and the community building that comes from an assembly like this?
Yeah, thank you. What a powerful question, because it's not either or. It's both and. And we as people of faith have understood that we must make public witness for issues. That's not something that could be hid under a bushel. That's not something that can be done in private spaces. We need to make public witness and declare what's right and what's wrong. When you have this number of people standing at North Carolina State Capitol in public witnessing that we are going to be together, that we will not allow cruelty or corruption to divide us, that we're one, red, yellow, black, and white, various faith traditions and no faith tradition, but yet we can come together in unity, solidarity. That's a public witness. But it can't be public witness without private strategy, private organization. And that's what we have always done in the church. We've demonstrated publicly, but we've worked together and strategized privately.
Bishop Darren Moore, before I let you go, one more question. When we talk about this 1st Congressional District where we just marched through in the east of the state, and when we talk about the state like North Carolina in general, we see a lot of people, it's not just about getting people out who never voted before. Reverend Barber likes to talk about how if everyone who was registered or everyone who had previously voted, if all of the black, brown, and poor people who had previously voted showed back up, the election might have gone differently. How do we re-engage those people who have fallen into an apathy, who have fallen into a cynicism, who say, it is what it is?
Yeah. Absolutely. That is key. And I intentionally go to a barbershop filled with young men, right, and converse with them, because many of them have dropped out believing that their vote doesn't matter, that their voice doesn't matter, that it's too big or too complex of a problem. We've got to help them understand that if it did not matter, they would not work so hard to keep you from voting. It does matter. So here's what it takes. Each one reach one. If I can engage with one person that had dropped out of the system and convince them to get back in, it'll happen. So my theme for everybody is show up and let's show out.
Thank you, Bishop Darren Moore. I want to go to a video from earlier this week as we were marching from Wilson to Raleigh. I'm not sure which all you guys got teed up, but I do love the one where we were marching and talking with the one brother who had come out, and he was telling me about why he joined the protest. And so I don't know if you guys have that one lined up, but would love it if we could show. All right, so go ahead and play that when you get a minute.
Tony, what brought you out here today?
Well, being complicit. If I didn't do anything or didn't say anything, then you might as well put me in what's going on.
Well, what's going on? What are the issues that are most important to you?
The issues right now is my right to vote. I want to hear my voice, and I want my voice to say something, and I want it to count.
And what's threatening that in this moment?
Right now is the rights, the different laws since 1965, some of the deteriorations of the laws that have been enacted is trying to take some of those rights. New gerrymandering rules are trying to take some of those rights.
That's right. Even here in North Carolina, we've seen a redistricting that has tried to dilute the black vote and the Democratic vote here.
Exactly. That's exactly.
What would you say to people across the country who are in states where maybe it feels like Republicans are in control, where they're worried about whether or not people's voices can be heard? Here in North Carolina, it's tough. This is a state that Donald Trump has won before. What would you say to people who are discouraged?
Trust God in this matter. God has given us all a voice, and he's given us the ability to get up and to do something, and we need to find out what that is. If it's walking, if it's marching, if it's just singing a song about being free, being able to voice your opinion, all of that matters.
Now, have you marched before?
Yes.
Tell me about those experiences.
Well, actually, I was here on yesterday. It's an excellent experience. Again, I have a Bible study class, and I challenge them on doing something. If that's letter writing, or if that's making a phone call, or if that's getting out here walking down these streets, let's do what we can while we can.
And so, what do you want to see happen? I know that Reverend Barber has said once we get to Raleigh at the State House, there's going to be 7 action steps. But what do you want to see happen as a result of this action here and across the state?
What I want to see is not only now, but long term. I've got 10 grandchildren.
10 grandchildren.
I've got 2 on the way. And with that being said, I want them to have the freedoms that everyone else has across these United States that they're threatening to take away from us.
Well, thank you for being out here today. Thank you for talking to our viewers here on the Black Star Network. And is there any last words you have for folks, again, who might be watching at home, who might be in states like Ohio or Texas or Georgia, who might be thinking, well, if they can do it in North Carolina, maybe I should do it here too. What would you have to say to them?
I'll tell them we've been here before and we've overcome before. And I think it's possible to do it in the future.
Through this rural community to impress upon the citizens, the people here, how important it is to mobilize and fight for voting rights, to not be disenfranchised by this regime of greed and power in Raleigh and in Washington as well.
Absolutely. Now we've been out, started a little earlier today. We're getting closer to the afternoon. Now, tell me what the response has been. It's been really interesting watching people in some cases come out of their homes, some honking, some waving. We saw some kids yesterday. What's the response been like for you as one of the marchers?
Response for me is particularly seeing the children come out, their teachers, their educators bringing them out to the roadside to cheer us on and to wave. It reminded me of why we're actually doing this.
And why is that?
We're doing this so that they don't have to do this. It's a scandal and a shame that in 2026 we have to march to Raleigh to demand that every vote counts and that no one is overlooked because politicians have chosen their electorate. I don't want my children and grandchildren to have to march to demand rights that are guaranteed to them in the Constitution.
Now, for folks who are watching at home, they may not fully grasp. I mean, we're out in rural North Carolina. We're not in the major cities, right? We're marching down streets that only have a few people on them sometimes, a few stores open or not, right? But places where, as Reverend Barber often talks about, places where there were many more registered voters than showed up, right? And so it's not just about getting people who've never been engaged before to become engaged. In some ways, it's a fight against apathy. People who have previously registered to vote, previously voted, but who sat out in these last few cycles.
So true. And in these rural communities, like we came through Bailey, small communities have pockets of voters in areas that you don't see on the grid, maybe, and their vote counts. But what many of the power elites in Raleigh and in Washington take for granted is that they can be displaced and that they can be taken for granted rather than counted as part of the electorate.
Now, this is one of the districts, and District 1 was one of the districts that saw redistricting.
Absolutely.
Right? This off year, normally we go through redistricting every 10 years based on the census, but the Trump administration forced a bunch of states to redraw their congressional lines in a way that typically is not what happens, and to do so to dilute political power, and specifically here, to dilute the black vote.
Right.
Now, what does it say? One, that people are showing up to fight against that, but second, what is the message you would send, whether it be to the administration, to state houses that have participated in this? Because look, the president didn't have the power to do this himself.
Right.
State houses here, in Texas, in Ohio, in Indiana, allowed some of this to happen. What would your message be as someone who is marching through one of the districts that has seen itself redrawn?
As a marcher, as an activist, as a pastor, my statement to them would be, you counted your chickens before they hatched. You had assumed that by redistricting, you'll win seat 1. Well, in fact, you've diluted other seats to create this new district, and we're going to beat you across the state at your own game. We're going to beat you in the eastern part of North Carolina, and we'll beat you in the Piedmont of North Carolina, because you've counted your chickens before they hatch, and you don't realize that people are pissed off and sick of being overlooked and taken for granted. And people are going to come out in the polls, black, brown, Latino, Asian, white people are going to come out to the polls, and we're going to send these people home because they've already rigged the map, but they didn't know that we still got to play the game.
So do you think that people have been underestimated? Because I do think a lot of people across the country, they see Trump as all-powerful. They see him as someone who is an executive, who's willing to break the rules, do what he wants. They've seen a Republican Party that in many cases allowed him to do that. Now, I don't mean that to discount the people who stood up to him, people who've left the party, right? And we've seen some of them marching, and some of the organizations involved here are made up of former Republicans, right? But what would you say? I think so much political commentary comes from D.C., comes from New York, people who are not on the ground in states like North Carolina, states like Texas, and people who maybe understandably after this whole era feel worn down. What would you say to those people?
I would say to these people, Revelations chapter 13. Donald Trump is a representative of the Antichrist. And the Antichrist comes to steal, kill, destroy, and create chaos and havoc. A march like this, led by a dynamic leader like Bishop Dr. William Barber, it corrals people together to stand up against the oppression and to make many voices one voice.
So we're here right now with Dr. William Barber as well as Dr. Hannah Broom, the key organizers for the march we followed now for the last 3 or 4 days from Wilson to Raleigh, and now this massive rally, demonstration, pep rally, celebration of love that you all just watched here on the Black Star Network. And so, Reverend Barber, can you talk a little bit about how you're feeling now having come off stage, some of the feedback you've gotten from your message, and reiterate for folks what those key next steps, those key takeaways were?
Well, you know, Roland and I often talk, and by the way, let me just thank Black Star Network for being here the whole while. And Roland and I often talk about you mobilize to a rally. The rally is for public education, but not just the people here, all through social media. And then you organize from. I'm ready to organize now because people are ready. They see what's at stake. They heard a vision. You notice today, everybody was talking about what we want, what justice required. It was not a litany of grievances. It was a vision. And it's a vision because that's what will rally people to stand. So, and we laid out those 7 things on our website now, and we're inviting people to join in. Doc, it's winter. It's February. It was cold this morning. And somebody said at least 10,000 people showed up, not including whoever. I don't know what the actual number was, but I know that there was a point, 3 by 3, we couldn't even get the people in the street. They were still turning the corner and the program was started.
That's right.
But the bigger thing is, it's winter. It's cold. And people stayed here for over 3 hours, did not move. The same people that were here at the beginning were here at the end. That's what love will do, a love vision. It'll stand you up in a way that you just don't know how to quit. You don't know how to retreat. And the messages and the impact of people were on point. And we'll be using all of that to push out smaller videos and everything, because it's about awakening this sleeping giant. Poor and low-wage people, 30 million of them who did not vote in the last election, and other people who have become so apathetic because they hear the grievances of hurt, but they don't hear the vision of hope. And we have to begin to mobilize around that kind of love and hope that challenges these injustices. Not a weak kind of love, I'm not talking about that, but strong, where we say, I got you and I'm gonna hold on to you. You know, we started from St. James, my wife, I hope you'll say something there, you know, as a pastor. A local pastor says, start here on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And you heard her say today that we've got to bother the system. We can't, that's what our voting does, it bothers. It says, you're not gonna just do this to us. And the fact of the matter is, in all these southern states, particularly the battleground states, it's not even big margins. You know, it's just a matter of turning folk out. And then you heard Reverend Dr. Hannah Broom, who was on every step, mobilizing the people, brought up bishops, brought other folk, and she was clear. There was something she said about democracy is not just you remember what you said, but I took it to mean democracy was not just some kind of ornament, just a statement we make. It is a demand. That democracy is a demand. So that's what we're saying here, and we have just begun. You know, and we think about this. If this many people turn out in the February, in the dead of winter, what about when we get to the summer? Not just turning out here, but the number of people we'll be able to turn out to go knock on doors, to go into local communities. And we're now doing our research. We want to know where every person that was an infrequent voter that had voted but chose not to vote in the last two elections, where they are. And that's who we're going to touch.
Reverend Broom, can you talk a little bit about this pathway you all took to get here? Right, the walking, we were out there, we were layered up, it was a little cold, it was raining some days, right, but walking through a part of the state that doesn't always get as much attention politically, right, but also a part of the state that has been specifically and explicitly targeted by some of these actions from the Trump administration. Excuse my reach. No, you read.
Yes, walking through those areas and talking to the community, some of them said, we didn't know y'all knew us in Wendell. Ooh. We didn't know y'all even remembered us in Sims. Those were the conversations from the community to us. And then also our marchers understood this is not just marching for one person, but this is the person I'm meeting and walking. They've attached a face, they've attached a region to those policies that are hurting and harming. So that was the connection I think our marchers did, but also the community said, oh, there are really people that are standing up for us.
And let me tell you one thing. We had, and we were on the back of the truck one day, and this is the most, to me, it was a sign. There's guys on the side cursing us out. I mean, with the police so bad, the police had to stop him. They had to get in front of him. And we waved and said, brother, we love you too. Somebody who probably needs living wages, probably needs health care, because this is rural Eastern North Carolina. One house over, a person that looked just like him came out and was crying. One house over, not one block, not one city, one house over. Then on the other side of the street, another house. And we thought about that we cannot judge these communities. We need to go and journey in these communities and see that God has people everywhere. They're just waiting to be understood and heard and ready to stand up and fight.
Absolutely. Now I got to talk to you.
I'm gone.
I got to talk to your wife now. the host pastor. Yes. We began at your congregation and moved our way here. And I remember the first day us talking about the idea of two ideas I remember from our interview. First of all, talking about the idea of the need for vision, not just resistance, but laying out proactively what people are rallying to and rallying for. But then secondarily, talking about this idea of what happens when people grow weary. What happens when it feels like it's raining and it's exhausting and you open up the newspaper, where you can still get a newspaper, you open up the headlines and you see it, yet another attack, yet another thing that feels out of sorts. And I just remember what you had to say to me there. So what would you say to folks who are feeling discouraged in this moment? What would you say to clergy members who lead churches, congregations, and in other faiths as well, who are saying, what is it I do in this moment when it feels as if we're facing something big and we don't always know what to do?
Well, there's always something bigger within us. Greater is he that is within us than he that is in the world. There are some churches tomorrow that are doing souls to the poll. I encourage other clergy, other churches to do that after your morning worship and communion. March your congregation down to the polls to vote. I think it's also one of the things you probably also heard me say about the clergy and about this bothering. It grows out from that text of this widow who was at a place of going to an unjust judge, asking for justice, but she was persistent. And so even in this place of when people may feel like hopeless, continue to be persistent. And the other thing is that we have to dispel this apathetic mindset and attitude as if our votes don't count, as if it doesn't matter, because it really, really does. Because when you look at the numbers, and I think that's important for clergy, to give folks the facts. Because when we talk about, like even today, the 1st Congressional District when it was decided by only 1,100 votes. 11,000.
That's right.
Votes.
11,000 votes, and how many people didn't show up?
185,000.
185,000 black, brown, low-income folks didn't show up to vote in a district that went for Trump by 11,000 votes.
And they weren't focused on. The National didn't go there but one time in those eastern counties.
Well, and that happens often. It happens often here in North Carolina. I can remember a Senate race a few years ago where you have a black woman on the ticket, and we saw a lot of energy nationally being poured into other races that, by my handicap, it didn't seem like the right ones necessarily, right? What would you all say to folks who have overlooked North Carolina as a battleground, who have said, no, we're going to pour all this money into Florida, we're going to pour all this money into Texas? And again, I don't say that to disrespect the efforts happening there, but for a while it seems as if North Carolina has been written off a bit by some of the national folks, although I know you all have been here doing this work.
Can I say one thing? Let me give them the history. In 2007, 2008, we're the only state in the South that expanded same-day registration and early voting. We were the only state in the South that took on the worst voter suppression bill since Jim Crow and won in a Bush-appointed Supreme Court. That's right. We were the only state in the South since 2000 that elected a progressive governor and unseated a regressive governor in 14 or 16, sent him home. And even in this moment of MAGA, we're the only southern state that has said progressive governor, progressive lieutenant governor, progressive AG. The reason the General Assembly is like it is because gerrymandering that began in 2010, when we told the Justice Department you should have used Section 5 to say no, and they didn't do it. So you overlook North Carolina to if you want the Trumpism and all that stuff to continue, then keep overlooking these southern states. But if you want to see transformation, we talked to one politician, and he said to us at a big rally one day in a church, the consultants tell politicians don't even talk about poverty, don't even say the word poor. How do you do that when 140 million people are poor and low wealth in the country? How do you do that when there are 87 million poor and low-wage voters? This is not the time for us to be going after just a few folk. This is all hands on deck. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers and understand there's not a state in this country, particularly in battlegrounds and in the South, that if you mobilize people around living wages, health care, love, empathy, justice, public education, anti-ICE sentiments, that poor and low-wage people don't represent at least 36 to 42% of the electorate. And if you turn out 15% of those who have not voted, you can shift everything.
Reverend, I'm going to run a risk here with the question I'm about to ask, but we're going to be all right, right? We're out here on the morning of Valentine's Day. Now you got your wife here. Some of us made a sacrifice and might still be in trouble, depending. I got to see what the texts say when we're done here. But I caught that in your message and in your sermon, you told in part the story of St. Valentine. And you contrasted him with one of the leaders and rulers of the time. I was wondering now, of course, we know our Black Star Network viewers are loyal. They, of course, watched the whole thing. They've been watching for 4 straight days. But just in case they've pulled someone into the room who missed it, what is the lesson to have learned from that moment here, Valentine's Day 2026, that is applicable? Because I thought you shared it so well.
Well, think about it. I didn't go today to buy my wife a box of chocolate because I buy chocolate when it's not Valentine's Day.
You set the example.
Yeah, I'm actually a little suspicious of folk that wait till certain days to say they love you. So we actually don't do that. But what we do love...
You're getting a lot of people in trouble right now.
But her and I understand we have a commitment to, if we love each other, that love to be about loving the people and loving justice.
head came off, the heads of the world turned. The minds of the people began to think differently. And people rose up against Claudius. And as I said, 18 centuries later, nobody talks about Claudius. We have to think right now. And I know sometimes people say don't think too far in the future, but really we need to be thinking about what are folk gonna write about me now? What are folk gonna write about us in this moment? 50 years from now, 100 years from now, are they gonna say this generation allowed MAGA to just take over, allow them to do it, even though the good people were in the majority? Did we just stay home? Did we just give up? Did we do less than Harriet Tubman did and less than Frederick Douglass did with more power, more tools than they had? History's going to write that question. I pray that the day will come when history will not mention MAGA and Trumpism, but it will list every day those who stood up, those who loved truth and justice, fought back, and didn't just go back to America as it was, but pushed America a little bit further to what it ought to be.
For those watching at home who want to get involved, who want to do what's next, who want to know what these next steps, call to actions are, where should they go? What should they be looking for? How do they get plugged in?
Go straight to breachrepairs.org. There's a button there that says donate and participate. Click on it. You can donate, but you can also participate. There's going to be a list of 7 things they can do in the state. But what we've written up can be done in any state. And I've already got called, can you come to our state and do this? And I'm going to say this, no. What we'll do is come and train you all how to do it. Because what we need is this kind of massive public education, organizing, micro-based mobilizing, organizing in every state capital, in every state around the country. So there should be a march in every state. There should be a walk. Take over the news media for 3 days. End up at your state capital. Send people out with an agenda. Send them forth with a plan. Go to those counties and organize. If we do that, this year of pain can be the year that the power of love said no, resounding. And we'll say no again and again and again and again for many years to come to hate. And we just might see things won that have not yet been won. But what we will surely do is push this hate and MAGAism and authoritarianism back in the closet or wherever it needs to be. And love and justice will be at the forefront of America's agenda. What else should we be working on? Because if we let things go as they are, all of us are in trouble.
You heard it. That's Dr. Reverend William Barber of Repairers of the Breach, one of the key organizers, the key organizer of this 3-4-day event where we've gone from Wilson to Raleigh across North Carolina. As always, I'm Wesley Lowery for the Black Star Network. We appreciate you all watching, and you all know we will be out here. We'll be out here in Raleigh. We'll be in state houses across the country. You guys know that we're the #1 source for black news, for black politics, stories that affect black people. And so I want to thank Reverend Barber. I want to thank the other members of clergy, the marchers who've talked to us, the staff members who've worked for us. We appreciate all of you tuning in. And until next time, Roland will get mad at me if I didn't say this, bring the funk. I'll talk to you guys later.